Welcome to Devon, and today we'll be talking about why Amtrak is not as terrible as you think it is. Amtrak got its start May 1st, 1971, when it received the leftovers from the bankrupt passenger services to now the new government-funded railroad. Over the following years, Amtrak would spend time and money upgrading its infrastructure and its fleet as it tried to advance into the next century. Amtrak even today continues to strive for the best possible way to transport its passengers along the entire country, United States and Canada. Even if you travel on one of Amtrak's many long-distance trains, or along any of its corridors, you will find that Amtrak's not as bad as you think it is.
The Northeast Corridor is one of the busiest sections of passenger rail activity in the Western Hemisphere. It was formed over time in the 19th and 20th centuries by the Pennsylvania Railroad and the New York, New Haven, and Hartford Railroad. Much of the infrastructure used today was put in place by the original railroads, such as the stations and the catenaries. Trains slowed down repeatedly because of the amount of curves on the corridor. The curves are part of the original routing. Amtrak runs a series of hourly services such as the Northeast Regional and the Keystone, and several long-distance services such as the Silver Star and the Silver Meteor. All of Amtrak's services uses outdated equipment, which is a result of the lack of funding. In this clip here is a 30-plus-year-old AEM-7 locomotive and 40-plus-year-old Amfleet 1 coach cars. In 2014, Amtrak began transitioning to its ACS-64 locomotives from its AEM-7 and HHB-8 locomotives. Amtrak retired the last of their AEM-7 locomotives after the delivery of their 70th and final ACS-64 locomotive in 2016. The ACS-64s are stronger, more energy efficient, and more reliable on long-distance trains. Unlike its European counterpart, the Euro Sprinter, the ACS-64 is bulkier and slower. This is because it was designed to accommodate the Northeast Corridor's infrastructure. Amtrak implemented Positive Train Control, or PTC, as a reaction to the incidents of Amtrak 188 and 89 that happened in 2015 and 2016, respectively. Although the ACS-64 is the backbone of the Northeast Corridor fleet, the Acela Express is America's bullet train, providing express service between Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston. The Acela Express reaches top speeds of 150 miles an hour, making it the fastest train in the Western Hemisphere. The Acela Express is made up of 6 cars, 4 of which are business class, 1 first class, and 1 cafe car, which can provide full meals. Although the Acela Express is known for its speed, unfortunately, the train only averages 84 miles an hour. This is mainly due to the stretch between New York City and New Haven, Connecticut, where there are lots of curves and drawbridges. Beginning in 2021, Amtrak will begin transitioning to the Avilia Liberty train sets, which will replace the current Acela Express train sets. These train sets will be more fit for speed and more aerodynamic. Although the Northeast Corridor has its issues, it leads Amtrak in both ticket revenue and ridership. It competes very heavily with the airlines between New York City and Washington, D.C. because of its travel time and access to the center city. The Northeast Corridor is Amtrak's most reliable sector in terms of punctuality and income.
The history of the railroads in the Southeast reaches far back as the 1800s, and used to connect the smaller South with the bigger North for transportation and infrastructure. Since the creation of Amtrak has revived many of the old routes that people used to ride back in the 1800s and love still today. Due to the historical routing, travel in the South has become slow and really only serves those in those areas. While Amtrak in the South may not be the best way to get around to the bigger cities in the North, it is a great way to connect yourself to the small cities in the South, as it has a lot of regional connections. An example of these connections is the NCDOT Piedmont service, which runs a route between Raleigh and Charlotte and has seen massive growth over the years. While Amtrak runs some local trains, they still do feature a lot of long-distance overnight services that lead mostly to New York. In this portion of the video, we'll be looking at the historical Southern Crescent. The Crescent was operated by Southern Railway, Pennsylvania Railway, and Penn Central from the mid-18th century to 1971 when Amtrak began operations. The Crescent hits many major cities such as New Orleans, Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York City. The Crescent runs non-stop through the night from New Orleans to New York City over about 30 hours to make sure people can get from the south to the north on time. With this, the Crescent features 2 daily services, 19 New York to New Orleans and 20 New Orleans to New York, which all come with sleeper services and diner services if purchased. In the south, the Crescent features 2 diesel locomotives, 4 coaches, a cafe lounge, a diner, 2 sleepers, and a baggage car, while in the north above Washington, D.C., uses an electric locomotive. The Crescent offers special eating arrangements for those along the route, including breakfast, lunch, and dinner. With Amtrak's seasonal menu and a hungry stomach, let's find out what you can eat along this route. You can get a more current menu at AMTRAK.com. Now we will quickly discuss the coach and sleeper options. We start with the accessible bedroom, which comes with a full bathroom and a bunk and lower bed. The Viewliner bedroom comes with a sink, bathroom, closet for storage, a bunk bed, and a bed which folds into a seat. This seat is useful for riding during daylight hours when you don't want to be asleep in your bed. The Viewliner roomette also has the same things minus the bathroom you are seeing here. The other option is to take a coach seat which reclines into near almost a bed. In the cafe lounge, there is food available for purchase, but for sleeper cars, the diner is free, and for those who are not in sleepers, you have to pay for any meal you receive. Once you're done eating, there'll be plenty of good views of the mountains and countryside going north or south from New York or New Orleans. Upon arriving to Washington, D.C., you'll swap out your 2 P-42 DC diesel locomotives for one brand new ACS-64 electric locomotive, which will whiz you up to New York City in about 3 hours. The rest of your trip will be a breeze on your way to New York City. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, I need your help. Due to the fact that I have not traveled west of the Mississippi, there are a lot of trains of Amtrak that I have not seen personally, such as the California Zephyr or Empire Builder. I need your help to make sure all the recordings of these trains can make it into the next couple parts of this series, that way I can complete all of the Amtrak trains and why Amtrak is not as bad as you think it is. With your help, I can complete the Midwest, West, and Canada portions of this series. Thanks for all your consideration. I'm sorry for the delay in the releasing of this video, because of college is taking me more than 6 months to complete. I will be out of college shortly next week and hope to release more videos. So stay tuned for next week's release.